Dozens of Massachusetts police officers are turning in their resignations because somebody's forcing them to do something they don't want to do.
That sounds familiar.
Go ahead, step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out. Step out.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
I am not. You better leave me.
Put your hands behind your
Leave
back!
me alone.
Put your hands behind your back! Now!
I said leave me alone. I mean it. Leave me alone.
Put your hands behind your back!
Hey guys, before I get into today's video, here's a shout out for this video's sponsor. When the shit hits the fan and the power goes out, one of the things you're going to need is an ultra bright flashlight and a power bank to charge your devices. This is the Indoor Outdoor Light Bug Work Light. It's got a solar panel to turn sunlight into storable, usable energy, or you can charge it with a regular wall outlet. The adjustable bracket allows you to hang it, hold it in your hand, or get the perfect light angle on a table. It comes in handy for car repair, fishing, hunting, and camping. And check this out. I fully charged this thing, turned it on, and left it on the counter, and it shined for over 5 hours. Grab a couple of them for family and friends. Your link is in the description. All right, this is quite the interesting psychological operation right here, because on the one hand, police officers are human beings just like you and me. They have the right to accept something in their body if they want, or reject something going into their body by another person if they don't want. We all should have this bodily autonomy. Your body, your choice. So what we have here is, it says dozens of Massachusetts state police have resigned over a VAXX mandate, union said. So what I'm not going to read this entire article, but what it boils down to is some people are going, you know what? We don't want this VAXX. We don't want this into our system. This is our body. This is our choice. And if you're going to make us do this, hey, here's my resignation. I'm not going to work here as a state trooper anymore. And I'm going to show you this video in a second here by Fox News, but I agree with that. I agree with their stand. If you troopers don't want something in your bodies, nobody should mess with you, troopers, who act as road pirates. And they bring out the drug dogs because some people want to put drugs into their system, namely, marijuana or whatever, fill in the blank. Should a person have the right to put something in their body without being messed with by another person? The answer is yes. What if another person decides to mess with that person who wants to put something in their bodies? Then that person is acting as a tyrant, acting as a controller, acting as an oppressor. And that's what cops do. Now the tables have turned on the cops. And another force, because they're a police force and they enforce the laws, including unconstitutional, immoral drug laws. So when somebody wants to force you, if you want to put something into your body, to take that away from you or penalize you if you want to put that thing into your body, namely police officers do that, well, now the tables have turned on the cops. The cops don't want somebody else to force them to do something that they don't want to do. And they're claiming it's unconstitutional. I agree. They're claiming it's immoral. I agree. They're claiming it's unconscionable and they cannot tolerate it and it's not to be tolerated. And I'm in their corner on that. So I agree. So listen to this, because it goes even deeper with this video right here from Fox News.
How do you feel about these mandates? I mean, you guys have been heroes and have done this successfully for the last 18 months.
This is like the union representative for these Massachusetts state troopers who are turning in their resignations.
This doesn't come down to the feelings for the mandate for us. This is about fair labor practices and making sure that our members that have been on the front lines can remain on the front lines, and years of experience doesn't walk out the door.
And you did file a lawsuit, and what did the judge say?
The judge denied the lawsuit. We were looking for an extension of the executive order to allow us to continue to impact bargaining.
Here's your governor. This is Charlie Baker.
I think it's critically important for those folks to get vaccinated. which is the reason why we made the decision to require everybody who works in the executive branch to get vaccinated.
We made the decision to require. In other words, we made the tyrannical edict. We made the mandate. You got to do this. You don't have a choice. If you want to keep your job, this governor's saying, then guess what you have to do? You have to bow down to the altar of the big farm guy. This right here says, I'm looking at these comments on the side, if government workers and post office workers don't need one, then none of us do. And anyone who thinks the shots will save you, then you should all double up and you won't have to be afraid anymore. This one right here says, more people need to do this. Hold your ground, troopers. This mandate is unethical and unconstitutional. I completely agree. This mandate is unethical, it's immoral, it's unconstitutional. But so is being a road pirate. So is enforcing the drug laws, which it's not a war on drugs, it's a war on people. So is enforcing any gun law. It's unethical, immoral, and unconstitutional. And now an unethical, immoral, and unconstitutional edict is being passed down to the state troopers, and the state troopers are now having to follow this unethical, immoral, and unconstitutional thing. And they want nothing, they want no part of it. At least dozens of them. Dozens of them are saying, you know what? We can't tolerate this. I'm not going to have somebody force me to do something I don't want to do, or force me to not do something I don't want to do. And yet that's their job. That's the trooper's job. So there's a grave irony here. And that irony is that law enforcing road pirates and many badged costume tyrants are now squealing like pigs because they're getting forced to do something that they want to do. Hey, how does it feel, troopers? How does it feel? How does it feel to have your lives jeopardized? To have the acts of economic tyranny fall upon you, which is what you do when you're a road pirate. You got a single mother who accidentally, she went 10, 11 miles over the speed limit. You're going to give her a $175 ticket when that's probably the $175 she was relying on to feed her kids or to pay her rent. And now she can't do it anymore because you economically terrorized her. You had to fill the coffers of the state. You had to fill your county's quota as a police officer. Such a joke.
There have been some pretty significant retirements in the state police over the course of the past couple years. I think some of that is demography. We'll have to continue to work hard with our folks at the Mass State Police and our folks in the legislature to make sure we fund classes and that we recruit aggressively to refill the ranks.
What's your reaction?
Okay, now the context is recruiting aggressively to fill the ranks of law enforcement. Listen to what this guy says right here.
Well, the unfortunate part there is, yes, years of neglect, if you will, for not having classes and keeping up with our numbers. We are down to the lowest that I can recall in my 25-year history. A recent call-in study suggested we should be at 2,900 troopers. We're now about to dip below 2,000. I don't know how we're going to make up these numbers, and that's prior to the possible exodus of dozens of troopers.
You know what this means? If they're understaffed, this means less theft, less people out on the streets to steal from you. Less people out in the streets, less costumed, badged law enforcement officers with the authority of the state out there to harass and collect from you. Because they're not serving and protecting, they're harassing and collecting. For the most part, that's what they do. Most laws are unjust, immoral, and downright evil. And what are they? They're law enforcers specializing in trampling your Fourth Amendment rights. Just as one example, to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. I don't feel sorry for these people for being understaffed. He's saying we need 2,900 of them. Now it's dipping below 2,000. Good. That's less people out there to foist unconstitutional, immoral, and unethical laws on us. I like what this person says right here. As long as there are enough to protect the politicians, they don't care. And they will always have their police and security forces to protect them, those political parasites. Our police should be given the choice. We are with our police force who have sacrificed their own safety for ours. It's just a joke. It's extremely foolish to neglect them and to think we, our neighbors, neighborhoods, and vulnerable can be safe without their enforcement. We absolutely can. Govern yourself. Look after your own families and your own neighborhoods. Empower yourselves. Stop being a victim. The problem is, it's the greater problem on this whole plane, when you think about it, are not the politicians who make the laws. They're the enforcers out there enforcing those laws, forcing you to obey politicians, forcing you away from your firearm, your right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. What happened to shall not be infringed, officers? So I just think it's funny, it's sad and ironic all at the same time that these cops whose job, whose profession it is to harass and collect from the rest of us, to trample our rights like these little mini tyrants, and now they're resigning, by the dozens, at least in this case in Massachusetts, because now somebody's trying to force something on them that they don't want. When all their lives, that's what they've done in their careers. When they put that uniform on, they're not just going after the bad guys. They're creating criminals in you and me. Oh, what's that? I think I smell marijuana in your car. You mind stepping out? Yeah, you don't mind if I pat you down there and violate your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person, do you? Oh, he's out there on the street corner with a sign? Go ahead and arrest him. Oh, you're out here taking video of our police department? Well, we're going to come out here and harass you in violation of the oath that I took to serve and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I turn around and become the very domestic enemy that I swore to protect you from. And now I'm going to violate your First Amendment right because you're taking video of cops on their job to make sure that they're performing in line with ethical standards. It's just such a joke. And then Fox News right here, I think at the end, it's like, oh, thank you. We really appreciate you being on the front lines, keeping us safe.
With this mandate.
Wow, and how is that going to affect the community and people when they need to stay safe and we rely on you to keep us safe? Thank you so much.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Do you want to finish
It's unfortunate. We're not going to be able to determine how that is going to affect us, but we're going to see an increase in caseload and a response times and an overwork.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing. You guys are heroes. We appreciate it. You're welcome.
You guys aren't heroes. You are road pirates, especially the state troopers. They are above all other law enforcement. State troopers are just don't even call them state troopers. Call them stormtroopers. Call them road pirates. Call them what they actually are. I don't feel sorry for these guys. I don't feel sorry for the fact that they're short-staffed, but I do sympathize with them, and I do stand with them in standing against any kind of mandate that would cause one party to put something that you don't want in your body in the body of another person. Leave your thoughts about this. If you guys get something out of these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give this video a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab one of these hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirts from the shirt store, and I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.